Hi, Todd Wente here with Path to Progress for March 26th, 2025. Um, it's been kind of an interesting morning as I've gotten ready for work, put some pieces into place, tried to make sure that I was ready for the day. It's been a challenge. To be sure, it's been a challenge. Some days are like that, and the thing that keeps me going in those kinds of days, or the things that keep me going, one of them is just determination to continue. An acknowledgement that there were promises made and promises need to be kept. I don't know that that's necessarily the best way to approach things or not. Sometimes and obviously there are days that I rest. Some days that I rest because I am ill. Some days I rest because I am too tired to continue. We all have those days. But it's made me think about what it means to grow. What is growth? Because if growth is this ongoing kind of development, then when we have days where we pull back from growth, does that mean we're dying? I remember I attended a lecture one time where the gentleman said that his particular field of research which was biogenetics, was very simple. It's either cell apoptosis or cell genesis. You're either making new cells or you're not making new cells. Your cells are dying. It's the balance between new cells being created and old cells dying off that determines whether or not an organism is living and growing and developing. And I thought about that. I've thought about that a lot. How simple that must be. If there's more growth, then we're growing. If there's less growth, then we're dying. So on days when it doesn't feel like we grow, does that mean we die? Does that mean that those are days where things are not successful? My motto was grown out of that kind of question: nullum diem, no wasted days. There were a lot of days that felt like they were wasted. During the time that I developed that motto, looked for something that could inspire me and that could carry me through difficult days. I tried to borrow some other mottos. I think I've talked about it on this channel before, although I'm not sure where it's at. I couldn't feel good about taking a different motto, some other mottos that were much more frequent and much more well known, because they didn't feel like they resonated with what I was trying to do. Nullum diem, the idea of never letting a day be wasted, kind of came to my mind. And on one side, it means don't back away from the day. Don't let the day be wasted. Don't have a day that you don't. For myself, don't have a day, Todd, that you don't do the best that you can within that day. And that was the beginning of Nullum Diem. And since that time, I have wondered about days when it seems I didn't make progress. What do I do then? Were those days wasted? I think progress, for me, I often think of as a linear growth. But it's really not linear. It is spherical. It is developing within my mind, my experiences, new strategies to apply. And sometimes what that means is that the outside looks like maybe it didn't grow much in a spot, but it was reinforced from within so that it could push out on all sides at the same time. And an area that looks like it may not be growing at all is only because there's other efforts being put into growing in another place. Progress is complicated, but it is worth all of the best efforts of a life. And so I continue to try to make progress. I recognize that in some areas I'm not going to make very much progress, and in other areas I'm going to consolidate wins and consolidate lessons, and in other areas I'm going to push forward and make progress, make improvements in different areas. And the result is a sphere rather than a line that is jagged. It's a sphere that's bumpy, a ball that has ridges and cracks and lumps and all kinds of things. But it's mine. It's where I'm going. And maybe one day it will become smooth and whole. But in the meantime, it's enough to keep trying to push it out and to do the best I can with what I've got. I hope this has been useful for you today. It's a tough day for me, as you can tell, but that was useful for me to think about and to process. So I offer it here and hope that it will be useful for you who may follow. Share it if you can. Let me know how it resonates with you if you can. And in the meantime, this has been the Path to Progress, part of the Daily 180 series. My name is Todd Wente. Nulum Diem. I hope to see you next time.